Michael Dueck here, and I want to take you inside a Working Genius workshop as we take a look at a sample team map so that you can see what it's like to have this objective, high level view of our team in regards to their working geniuses and their working frustrations. And so we have this sample team of 6 members, and we're going to take a look at hey, what is this team's strength? And what are this team's gaps or challenges? And so, even considering our gaps and our strengths, we're going to begin to understand and consider, you know what, why has this team or why has your team experienced some of the past failures or past difficulties or even past successes, and why are we so good at certain things but not so good at other things? And then we're going to begin to consider what adjustments can we make for our next project, our next priority, so that we can maximize our effectiveness as a team. And so, as I'm even saying that, and you're seeing this map beside me, you're noticing that there is a lot of genius representation in galvanizing, but there isn't any genius representation in discernment. And the other thing that you might notice, and this is where we'll start, is that there's only one genius in Wonder. But you'll notice that Yasmin has an asterisk beside her name, and that's what we do with the person who is the team leader, because we say that by nature of leadership, they count as two simply because of their ability and the position that they hold as influencer in their role leading the team. And so we are going to count this as two. So everywhere where Yasmin has a genius or even a frustration, we're counting that as two. And I probably could put that name in there twice. But when we consider this map and the fact that there's only one person with Wonder, this team is going to want to ask, hey, are we tapping into our leader's gift? So, especially if Yasmin wasn't the leader, you would really, that question would even be that much more important to ask. Hey, do we have her questions of potential? Are we asking her what she's seeing and where she's seeing need for improvement and some change? Because you know what Wonder does, it really helps us to make sure that our inventions, that our solutions, and what we're doing are actually relevant. And so this is actually a really good thing because we could put Yasmin's name in there twice, and because she is the leader, she is going to be aware of those questions already. Some of the challenges that Yasmin may have as a leader is just helping her team engage in that, because she has 3 members of her team who don't enjoy being in that Wonder activity. And so she's going to just have to make sure that she gives some space and maybe provide some context to her questions and translate that for her team, but also make space for her team to engage in that. So just because it's not their genius and it's their frustration doesn't mean that anybody shouldn't participate in another activity. And so that maybe doesn't need to happen a lot because she is the leader, but something to consider, especially if that person isn't in a leadership position. The next thing that we want to take a look at is that there's no discernment. This team probably has trouble evaluating, refining, or selecting the right ideas. And so they should ask questions of, okay, how is this lack of discernment explaining past frustrations or failure that we've experienced? Or next, and like, how can we ensure that ideas and initiatives are properly vetted before we actually start implementing or even galvanizing, as we'll notice? And can we hire or can we borrow someone with this genius to help us with our decision-making process? Next, we'll notice that there is a high representation again of galvanizing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team members with this genius. And so they know how to stir up energy, get momentum, but may need to be careful not to rally others around the wrong initiatives. Again, so this plays back into the lack of discernment. The team should probably be asking, like, have we galvanized ideas that we didn't actually fully discern yet? And do we keep stirring up energy around the same ideas, the same initiatives, without taking the time to wonder or invent? And then lastly, how do we ensure that we focus our gift of galvanizing around only our most important initiatives? And so with that high level of galvanizing, again, last question would be really important because we don't want to lessen the influence of galvanizing if it's being overdone. And so that is something just to even note that sometimes geniuses may also be misused, not just missed, but they can be misused or maybe overused at times. And so just having that awareness as a team, as a leader, I think will be super helpful. If you would like help and want me to even walk with you through your team map and doing a workshop with your team, I'd be happy to do so. I have a couple other videos that will kind of follow along this idea and stems from this team map. And we're going to talk about individual commitments and team norms.